got blood all over her face.
I do.
It's not blood.
I am Carrie.
It's hair dye.
It's conditioner.
Or why orange conditioner?
To keep my hair orange?
It's literally like it's not conditioner. It's not orange conditioner for orange hair, right?
Yes, it is.
For real? Do you went and bought orange conditioner for your orange hair?
Yeah.
Wow, that seems... I don't know what to say to that.
What do you mean?
I mean, like, what, are you going to get, like, one colored conditioner for all different colors of your hair?
No. So here's the deal. I bought the orange conditioner when I thought I had to fix my hair myself.
Oh, okay.
And then I didn't, but my hair faded really fast this time, and I already bought it, so...
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a fantastic episode?
I am excited.
It's a pure hypothetical episode today.
Yes.
And the topic is, what if we all lived in the Matrix right now and had no idea?
Whoa.
Yeah, right? That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's crazy, but we got to start the show. Hello and welcome to the Strive Nation podcast, the podcast where we talk about the monotony of daily life. But hey, that's okay because sometimes that's exactly what you need in this crazy world. My name is Cory Estreen, and as always, I'm joined with my constant co-host, Taylor Huff. How are you feeling tonight?
I am good. I have a lot of stuff I need to do, but I'm good.
Oh, well, that's good. Even tonight still?
Okay, well, no, I guess I did everything I needed to do for tonight.
All right.
I have lots of things to do tomorrow.
Oh, well, yeah, she is going on a trip. It's going to be,
I'm leaving you.
Yes, you talked about it on the last episode.
Yes, going to the woods.
Very exciting. Camping's always fun.
Yeah, I'll have some stories.
Yeah. Going to Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg.
All right, what are you drinking?
I am drinking good old-fashioned water. I was going to make a coffee, and then Cory told me that wasn't a great idea because it is 9:45 at night.
Yeah, do you want to be all juiced up?
No.
Yeah. Well,
I don't think caffeine affects me. I don't know. Anywho, I'm being responsible. I'm drinking water.
it affects me. If I don't get caffeine for work, I can feel it during the day. So I always need caffeine. Got to get my iced coffee in the morning, you know?
Yeah. So, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a press.
Are you?
Pomegranate.
Are you now?
Yeah.
That's a great invisible can.
I'm going to be honest with you. I drank the whole thing before the episode.
Yeah.
So you don't even get a pop. And I'm afraid to open another one because I have to get up at 5.
Ooh, so also being responsible.
Yes.
Do you want to tell people what press is?
Press? It's a seltzer. Alcohol, yeah, alcohol seltzer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know made by whom. It's your freaking...
Made by Press.
Oh,
the
it's
company.
the Press the company? Okay.
They're based in Wisconsin.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know any of this. See, you're teaching me everything.
Why I'm so
But it's pretty good.
obsessed.
I was actually pretty impressed. I was impressed with it because the last time I had it, I remember I used to talk about how acidic I thought it tasted. Mm-hmm. This pomegranate one was really nice. Like it wasn't like that. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
So yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've had the pomegranate.
Oh, it's good.
Damn, now
Yeah.
I want one.
Yeah, it's really good.
Anywho, pause. Go get yourself a Beveragino and then press play.
It's gonna be doozy of a show.
Yes.
Before we start the show, make sure that you go right now and follow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Strive Nation Pod for all the coolest content on the internet. And for you visual people, head over to YouTube and smash the subscribe button and like every video to show that you care. But first,
Upvotes and downvotes.
upvotes and downvotes. Ladies
Yes.
first.
My upvote is I went to Gun Club tonight and I haven't been in a hot second. Guess
Cool.
what? Still got it.
Yep.
Still a champ.
A whole bunch of headshots and chest shots.
Okay,
She's-
so I'm not gonna lie. The first shot I got off was square in the middle of the head, and I wanted to just put my gun down and be like, I'm done. Killed it.
Yep. First one.
Literally.
Just walk the fade away.
Dude, I felt really fucking cool. I was like, haven't done this forever. Headshot. I would be like, did anyone see that? So yeah, that's my upvote.
Very nice.
Oh, head in one.
That's exciting. Does your downvote has to do with this as well?
Yeah, I'll just talk about my downvote really quick. My downvote is ammo fucking costs so much money right now. I usually buy 2 boxes, and I was like, I'll do 2 boxes. And he's like, okay. He's like, and you have your 10% discount on there too. And he's like, ammo price did go up, so your total is $76. And I went, oh.
What did you pay before?
I'm pretty sure I used to pay like 40 something for 2 boxes.
Yikes. All right.
Yeah, I think it used to be between like 40 and 50 for 2 boxes. And that was with my 10% discount. So I was like, can I only do 1 box? And he says, yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
But I couldn't use all of it because obviously I need some for home protection. So I took a half a box with me, and I came home with only 18 rounds.
I gotcha.
So
well,
I did like 50 rounds.
Well, with a headshot like that, all you need is 1.
That's true. Try and rob us.
There you go. I don't think anyone's gonna rob us in this building.
No.
If here's the thing, if you had to use that gun in our building, we're moving.
Well, yeah, we weren't home during the riots of 2020. So.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I probably would have been sitting up here with my gun.
Close enough, though. Close enough.
Anywho, what's your upvote?
I binged The Terminal List.
Yeah.
And it was good with Chris Pratt. I'm just happy that like I can kind of champion or like white-nate people like Chris Pratt because like a dude that like him that's conservative is gonna kind of struggle among the woke mob in Hollywood. It's gonna be kind of hard for him. Granted, he's like it's Chris Pratt. It's one of those things where he's got to that echelon where it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it still probably matters a little bit on certain movies, right? And like. He's probably fine as long as he probably doesn't discuss politics for work, like at all.
No.
Like if people know he is, like, and if you're a woke person, you know who he is. But it's one of those things where if you interact with him in person, he's like, oh, he's not a bad guy. You know how people think like conservatives are all a-holes? But he's probably not like that. And then he probably doesn't talk about it at all.
The only thing he talks about, he doesn't really talk about how he's conservative, but he does openly talk about how he is how he's a Christian. So that's how people put the pieces together because he's very open about his faith.
Right. Yeah. He's a cool dude though, and he was really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, he's such a good actor.
Wait, did you finish it?
Nah.
What'd you think of the scene where he hangs up the gun?
Oh,
and everything falls out.
That was gross.
It was gross.
Yes. Spoiler alert.
I didn't spoil it completely.
No, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
But yeah, it was sad, and I felt like they did a really good job narratively putting the pieces and all those flashbacks together.
Yeah, it was
that was
great.
really cool. Yeah,
I loved it.
Moved on to Reacher on Amazon.
Yeah,
and that's a pretty fun show.
I really like it.
Yeah, used to watching I think the Tom Cruise one, right?
Yeah,
the original Jack Reacher.
I've seen all the other ones.
That's not even original either, is it? With Tom Cruise.
I don't think he's the original Jack Reacher.
It's good, though. I mean, and the TV show so far is really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. It's fun.
It's very witty.
Yeah, always watching a badass kick the shit out of people, so.
That was pretty much our TV genre type. Yeah. So, what's your downvote then?
I've been feeling older. Like, now that I'm in my 30s, maybe it's just a 30s thing, but like, and I still have the same, like, youthful energy, but at the same time, like, it's taking me more sleep to feel energized.
Yeah.
And I'm like, part of it I know is diet, and part of it I know is like maybe I need to go back running and things. But I'm noticing like, and not having like a structure, I think a big part of it, to be honest, like a big part of it is not having a regular schedule because of retail.
Oh, for sure.
I think that's part of it, because if I knew I was getting up at the same time and whatever, I think I would feel a little bit better about it. But depending on, work is always pretty stressful and tiring.
Yeah.
And it makes it worse that I don't have the same times. Like, I'll get home late, or I'll get up super early like I am tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think that's contributing, but it feels like harder to get, not having that regular schedule is harder to keep my energy up.
Yeah. Well, it's also like fucking with your circadian rhythm. That's the natural, like, rise and fall of who you, like, of your body.
Yeah.
And your sleep schedules and everything. So that definitely plays into it, is your regular schedule.
Yeah. So I'm working through it, but I can definitely tell. Like, I'm like, oh, I need to find time to work out. But by the time I get home, I'm really, really tired. And I think I'm going to try, when you go, I think I'm going to try, like, go running on these days off.
Oh,
like,
nice.
And these, yeah, just
Cool.
to get it back into it. But, like, I'm just tired, you know?
I'm going to start running next week, too, now that my blisters are gone.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, we'll see how it works. But
Cool.
just finding the energy. So, yeah, that's my downvote. Are we ready?
If someone accidentally burnt your house down when trying to do that trend where you put a tinfoil ball in the microwave,
Again, purely hypothetical.
Hypothetical question.
Completely hypothetical.
Purely hypothetical situation.
What if we all lived in the Matrix
I love this so much.
right now? What if right now is a simulation and we lived in the Matrix?
Oh, that's insane.
That is the pure hypothetical. So, first of all, I love the Matrix, and I forced you to watch all of them.
Yeah, and now I love The Matrix.
Yeah. Lawrence Fishburne and Keanu Reeves kind of lit this really imaginative fire when I was young. 2002, 1999, all of those OG movies. And it was a really, really cool concept. There's been a couple books written about it, about like this whole idea of like simulations, or we all are hooked up to like computers and stuff like that. But I don't think it really took like mainstream kind of entertainment until that time.
Oh, for sure.
And this whole idea of taking the blue pill or taking the red pill and choosing to know the truth, even though it might be scary, like in the Matrix. Maybe we should talk a little bit about what the Matrix is. So the Matrix is basically the idea that machines had taken over the world, and it's far, far in the future, and all of the rest of its current inhabitants are hooked up by their brains and bred for their energy to power the machines because the sun went dark.
Yes.
So the only way for the machines to get energy is through the humans, because I guess humans generate a crazy amount of energy with their bodies. And so they were hooked up, and basically the whole idea is these humans are trying to fight against the current world and the current race of machines to take back the world and make it what it once was.
Yeah.
And so they're hooked up to this thing called the Matrix. And the Matrix is kind of this simulation in their brain where they think it's the real world, but it's not until you're woken up and brought to the real world and disconnected from the Matrix. Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe it's hard to understand, but that's the best way I got to describing it. So the idea is, what if right now that we are hooked up in the Matrix and have no idea, and that our bodies are actually in a kind of like an alternate universe right now, hooked up, and like this is a simulation that we are living. That's the idea.
I've never taken the time to actually think about this.
Yeah, because we never
Always crack jokes, but never actually sat down and thought about, like, what if this is actually real?
You're right. So it's crazy to think about if you start like really diving into it.
Yeah.
It's like a conspiracy theory kind of, like the
for sure.
lizard people and all that stuff. But in the Matrix movies, the character of Neo, who is the chosen one, he's supposed to bring balance back and take back Earth over the race of machines.
Yeah.
And basically create salvation for the humans so they can come back to the light. Because right now they live all under the ground. And so, anyways, he's in the Matrix, and he's this guy named Morpheus, who basically leads a commanding ship in the real world, is trying to rescue Neo in the Matrix and wake him up from what he knows is not not real.
Yeah.
But he gives Neo the choice, because you have to choose to leave the Matrix, because it's one of those things where, like, if you, let's say you have a really fantastic life in the Matrix and it's not real, but you don't know it's not real unless someone confronts you with the reality of it, right?
Yeah.
If you were like a billionaire, millionaire, and you were loved and everything, is it better to know the truth or to stay living in the Matrix with it all be fake And then and then here's the other thing. What if you knew the truth and you had to live in the Matrix knowing the truth? Is it still that good? You know?
Yeah.
Or you know the truth and it's spoiled for you. Now you don't have a choice. Because you know the truth, you have to wake yourself up.
Damn. Okay, question for you then.
Yeah.
Let's say life right now. What you and I have is a life. What if someone comes up to you and tells you you're in the Matrix, but you have to choose red or blue pill?
Oh, I'd wake up.
You'd wake up?
Yes, because ultimately then Jordan Peterson talks about this too, and we'll talk about this later.
Oh.
But because truth is the only thing that matters. You don't want to live a lie. Like truth is and truth telling gives the ultimate purpose in life. And Jordan Peterson talks about that, right?
Yeah.
Without truth, you have nothing, or your ability to be as truthful as possible, or say things as you see them, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like even in a horrible world, at least things are honest and true.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
You
that's
know?
a really good point.
As humans, I feel like we have to strive towards that. Otherwise, what else is there? If everything's a lie and it's not real, then what is it?
I feel like we may think, because I would choose the same as you. Like, I would choose to be woken up. But what do you think the percentage of people that would be like, no, I like my life in the Matrix, it's comfortable, I'm not leaving?
There are a pretty good number of people would choose to stay in the Matrix. But here's the other thing. I think that's the difference, kind of, between the people who have baggage and things they have to work through mentally, right?
Mm-hmm.
To be Jordan Peterson, clean up your room.
Yeah.
Like, people are working through their issues and things.
Uh-huh.
And if you're comfortable in your own skin and everything, and you know that the most important thing is meaning and truth, then you'll choose it. But people who don't know any better, maybe they have a lot of baggage, or their life has been horrible, or at this point they don't care, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they haven't thought these things through. Maybe they would choose to stay in the Matrix, right? But ultimately, like, the idea that it's kind of really interesting, because it's kind of like a metaphor for life is like, if you choose the Matrix, it's because
It's like you don't have faith in yourself.
it's like you don't have faith in yourself, and you have more work to do on yourself, right? Mm-hmm. You know, like they're not ready anyways, right? They're not someone who's, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But in the movie, Morpheus confronts Neo, gives him the option to choose the red pill or the blue pill. Now, there's lots of memes with the red pill and the blue pill with everything, with conservatism and liberalism and everything.
We
like
talk
that.
about it all the time.
Yeah, we do talk about it all the time. And so he gives Neo the option, and Neo ends up taking the red pill, which wakes him up.
Yeah.
The blue pill, he would have returned to the Matrix and never known anything different. And he chooses truth, because that's all that really matters in the world is truth.
Yeah.
And what is real, type, basically. So, but here's the thing about this pure hypothetical. So, like, there's a lot of really, really cool things that we can talk about that really give evidence to the fact that we may be living in the Matrix. Even if you don't think so, if you start thinking deeper about them,
Yeah.
we could.
So what kind of evidence do you have?
So there's this book called The Simulation Hypothesis by Rizwan Virk.
Okay.
And he discusses this whole simulation idea and how deep the rabbit hole goes and how far deep thinking you can get into these types of ideas. Mm-hmm. Right? So it argues that the most probable outcome, among three options, is that advanced civilization will survive long enough to be able to develop the technology to create various simulated worlds. So here's the thing. So the longer we go on living,
Yes.
the higher probability is that we right now are in the Matrix, the longer it is. Because the point is that at one point, we will swap over into something that's like a Matrix and not know it. So, like, let's say in this world, we created a simulation via computers because our programming, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, we'll swap over. Well, regardless of whether that's in this world or we've already done it to ourselves and don't know it, it could have already happened. So what you're doing is a simulation inside of a simulation inside of a simulation. So you have no idea if it started already or we're going to start it in another simulation. You don't know. It's kind of like a loop, right?
Holy smokes, yeah.
It's like Schrodinger's cat. Is the cat, the cat's in the box. You don't open the box. You don't know the cat's living or dead until you open up the box.
Yeah.
Well, the box is closed and we have no idea. Mm-hmm. Right? That's the whole idea behind his book. And he gets into a lot of really cool things. It means that there are many simulated realities and there's only one base reality. Therefore, which reality are you most likely to be in? The 99 simulated realities or the one base reality? You're more likely to be in the 99 because it could have already happened and you don't know how old. It could have been centuries ago that we were in this simulation.
Oh my god. Wow.
Pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's kind of freaky.
Yeah.
And by I mean really freaky.
Yeah, like right now, we could be in a simulation. I have no idea. And how would we know? We wouldn't
my
know until
gosh.
somehow the reality that we were in that put us in the simulation would wake us up. And if they don't wake us up, we'll never know.
Fuck, that's like kind of depressing.
Yeah.
I'd rather just believe in aliens.
Or here's the other thing. Okay, this is really gonna freak you out.
Okay.
So check this out. So he talks about a couple other aspects, right?
Yeah.
What if that since we are like technically should be statistically living in a simulation based on that logic, right?
Yeah.
Every time we make a decision, it forks a path and a new simulation is made. So every time we make a decision, a new simulation in the program that we are in makes another simulation. So there could be alternate realities, many different programs for each person.
Yeah.
So like, let's say I decide to like go downstairs and run outside right now. That's a different simulation. Mm-hmm. It forks a reality in the program.
Yeah.
So we're constantly running simulations and creating new ones based on like
every decision
every
that's
move
made. We make.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Oh my, this is so interesting. I've never thought about this before.
Yeah.
Like literally never ever thought about it.
Well, here's the other thing. You know the phenomenon of deja vu? You see a black cat and a restart. What if that's because in your other alternate reality, you saw there was a simulation that also happened and you're seeing double?
I get deja vu pretty frequently.
That's
so,
what I'm saying. Pretty
like
cool,
at
right?
least once a month.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or like, let's say this. You had a dream and you swore you dreamt something that actually came true. Or you dreamt of something that you thought of previously. It's because of simulations and choices in different paired realities.
That's kind of like a little like bug.
Right? Yep. And they do this in the Matrix too. When Neo sees the black cat and he's like, it's a coding issue in there. It's because they're programs, right? They're all programs. The Matrix is a program. So he sees deja vu. And that's how I think the whole reason the Matrix was made is because of this weird phenomenon where this could technically exist.
Yeah.
Right? And like I said, we'll never know, but it's a cool thought. It's a cool thought experiment, right?
Oh, it's so cool.
Right. So there's a couple other really cool things he talks about. And we're talking about Rizwan Virk, okay, who wrote the simulation hypothesis. He talks about the Mandela effect, okay?
I've heard of this.
Yes. So, it came up of Nelson Mandela because there was a lot of conspiracies and weird, like, ideas that he didn't die the way everyone thought he died. So, like, the story gets perpetuated in different ways. So, the Mandela effect is a type of false memory that occurs when many different people incorrectly remember the same thing. It refers to a widespread false memory that Nelson Mandela, South African human rights activist and eventual president, died in prison in the 1980s. So you have many people that were part of the same memory or the same thing, but remember it just slightly differently than what actually happened.
Yeah.
So when they tell the story, it changes, right? It's kind of like the telephone game. So which one is true? Especially if you hear it from from many different people, right?
Yeah.
So that comes into effect with it.
I will definitely say I have fallen down the rabbit hole of the Mandela effect YouTube videos.
Oh dear.
Where they show like the Berenstain Bears is one example.
Yeah, he talks about that.
Oh, does he?
Well, because the Berenstain Bears, not only are the Berenstain Bears the name of the family, the Bears, but Berenstain is the guy who wrote it. And most people don't know that.
So what is the other name that people think the Berenstain Bears is, though?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't remember.
So, like, it talks about this.
Yeah, I thought it was, like, really stupid a couple years ago. And my younger siblings were like, do you know the Mandela effect? And I was like, no, that's fucking stupid. And then I watched a YouTube video and I was like, oh, wow, this is really weird.
Right. It's pretty crazy. Or the way we remember things that aren't, It's really crazy. A lot of this.
I never put those two together. Like, I never put together Mandela effect could be because of glitches in the Matrix.
Right.
I just assumed that half the people. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what else?
There's a couple other things with the Mandela effect. So false memories. False memories are untrue or distorted recollections of an event.
Mm-hmm.
Some false memories contain elements of fact closely resembling the actual event in question. However, others are entirely false memory. It's very suggestible. This means that information from another person, a person's desire to believe something different, or false information online can influence a memory. So if you hear something that perpetuates something that you already thought it was, you're more likely to take on that information, even if it's not true to the memory. So based on if a lot of people, it's like subliminal messaging, right? What Disney used to do. So if you hear things or see things repeatedly, later when someone asks you a question about it, you're more likely to bring it up. It's psychology, right? So like Disney, like you see Sex in the Sky multiple times, right? Mm-hmm. You're more likely to see sex in other things because of that. If you watch these things with subliminal messaging in them. And that's kind of what it's saying. The more times it's brought up to you, the more likely you are to recollect it in your daily life. On it. Right. I used to have someone at work that was really spiritual, and she thought that numbers and things had special like correlations to the world, and
like angel numbers.
I don't know. She used to like remember who I was talking about, Sarah.
Oh yeah, angel numbers.
She was very spiritual and thought everything in the universe had a reason for why it happened. Yeah, and like she used to just be super engaged with like numbers and angles and shapes and things. Mm-hmm. I forgot what she called it, but she was really into that.
My godmother was very much like that too, where she would see like a butterfly and then the number 13, and she would like piece it together about how that like related back to me. She's very much the same way, where nothing was a coincidence and everything she saw was intentional and had a meaning behind it. Yeah,
it's pretty cool. But at the same time, like people do these things to generate meaning in their lives, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and it makes them feel good. It gives them a rush of dopamine every time something does, you know? Yeah. But I guess it can work negatively in your favor too, or not in your favor, I would say.
Against you.
Against you. Yeah. Some other ways that the Mandela effect can occur is something called confabulation. And they are false memories that a person spontaneously generates, often to compensate for holes in a person's memory. So, like, if you don't know, you'll try to piece it together yourself, and that also goes against the original memory. Because you're
kind of patching it together, and so there's some truth in there, and then there's some false.
Right. So that's one. Another one's called priming. So priming describes a phenomenon in which exposure to a stimulus directly influences a person's response to a subsequent stimulus. So we were talking about that before. If you see the word sex in Disney multiple times, you're more likely to see that in other things, right? Yeah. That's kind of what it's talking about. Okay. For example, if a person reads or hears the word grass, they'll recognize another related word such as tree or lawnmower more quickly than an unrelated word. So you can pair related words together.
Oh. Right. That does make sense.
Right. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. So that's some of the things that Verk talks about in his book. Do you think we're living in the Matrix? If you had to think about it, like, wow. Or is it one of those things where it's too hard to say?
I've never thought about it until now. I guess where I get hung up is if we're in the Matrix, does God exist? Because I don't think God would do that to humans.
Well, why? Why do you think? Why? What gives you that reasoning that you don't think God would do this to humans? Why would you say that?
Because I don't think he would enslave the entire human race.
Why would that be enslaving?
I mean, them being enslaved to robots, like being used to like generate energy.
No. Okay. You're directly relating it to the movie Matrix.
So if we're living in a Matrix, though, our bodies are lying lifeless somewhere.
Okay. Well, right. But here's the other thing. So maybe it's not the exact circumstance of the Matrix. What if we're just in a simulation we ourselves created? We're not taken over by robots.
Me like other humans?
Yeah, like we did this to ourselves, and we're in a simulation right now, but have no idea.
Oh my god.
Because here's the thing. Why wouldn't you say God would do that? Why? Why would you say God wouldn't do that?
I guess I'm thinking in the entire, like, he wouldn't do that to the entirety of the human race.
Why?
I don't know, because he loves us.
Yeah, but he can still love us. Horrible things happen all the time. Look at what happens in the world.
I know, but not to
A lot worse than that, too. There are a lot more horrible things than that, like nihilism and things.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you think here's the other thing. Do you think God is in control, but if that were to happen, you don't think he would be in control of that too? If we created a simulation, you don't think he would have allowed that to happen because he's...
No, he would.
That's what I'm saying.
He would.
Right.
Oh my god. I don't know.
Well, and think about
what
this.
to think.
Think about this. You know how my mom always talks about the mark of the beast? What if the simulation is the mark of the beast?
I think my head's gonna explode.
She's like, I can't do this right now.
I've never thought about this ever until now.
Yeah. So the mark of the beast that the Bible talks about, what if it's a simulation?
You could be.
Because the whole mark of the beast is that we are all imprinted. Well, what if the simulation is the imprinting?
And this is the end of times.
Yeah, the end of times is the simulation.
Wow.
You know, it could be zombies. It could be the flood. It could be anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But
why not?
Why not a simulation?
Oh my god. Okay.
Where reality ceases to be reality because it's not. It's a simulation.
Yeah. Holy smokes.
Yep. Because technology.
I have to think about this more.
Well, and you're
Oh,
gonna think
no.
about that. I'm gonna bring up blockchain in the metaverse, so just wait for this.
Wait, hold on. I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think we're living in the Matrix?
So here's my thing: is like I'm a logical person, right?
Yeah.
It's a fun thought experiment, but going off base of what I have, I only am able to perceive what I've already experienced, right?
Yeah.
And this is the realest feelings that I've ever known. I have nothing to compare to.
This is the truth that you know.
It's the only truth that I know.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't matter if I was or wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of whether it's true or not. So I could say yes or no. But I'm going to say no just because I don't have anything to compare to.
Exactly.
Right. It's a fun thought experiment, but like let's say we start waking up. That would be funny. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason I would say no, and you know, the only the experiences that I have don't tell me that, right?
Yeah.
It's but like I said, we would never know if we were in a simulation.
No,
like
we'd have no idea.
Right. So it's pretty interesting, but like you think about the technological advances through the years as well.
Oh, for sure.
And like with computers and everything in the 80s and 90s and how quickly we're adapting, it, like literally we could eventually just go into it and you'd never know, right?
Yeah.
Well, and the thing is okay, we're getting robots and everything and these cryo chambers and what do they call the sensory deprivation tanks? Mm-hmm. What happens if we just decide to do one of those times and they hook up with something and that's it? That's the last we ever know.
Well, yeah.
You know, and then a new reality and here we are.
Well, that's what I'm thinking of. Like, you go in one of those, like, cryo chambers and, like, I don't know, you're in an AR video game and the video game becomes real life.
Yeah. Like, how are you supposed to know? If you don't remember not a different reality other than that, if it doesn't allow you to, then how would you know? Unless someone wakes you up.
Damn.
You know? It's pretty crazy, but like there's a lot of cool things like you said, AR, VR, things that are trying to imitate reality but aren't. Mm-hmm. And people are always looking to have experiences that they can't in the real world, like
the metaverse.
Well, yeah, I mean, like how often do you get to take on a different race? I don't know, like goblin and have swords and go and fight in a war without having to actually die and feel pain, or at least pain like that. Mm-hmm. You know, that'd be kind of neat, right? Like, because people only have one experience and this is the real world.
That's very, like, Ready Player One.
That's what the metaverse is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and we're going there with blockchain and whole decentralization and people, digital ownership and people creating avatars and things and separating their real life existence to their online existence because they get an experience that they wouldn't have otherwise. Mm-hmm. It's very interesting.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so like I think blockchain and the metaverse are will eventually come. People
For
say
sure.
people say 10 years we'll have full persistent online metaverses that you can hook up. There's even in some countries actual haptic gloves and haptic rigs where you can wear full vision just like Ready Player One. And you can actually see online videos of it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I'm just saying if we exponentially are innovating and creating technology, who's to say that in 10 years there isn't something like that?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, it's just a really weird thought experiment.
For sure.
What do you think the impact on the real world would be if it was true?
Oh, I mean, I think if that's true, then I think the real world is probably like a dumpster of...
You think it's like a dystopian...
I'm picturing like WALL-E.
Where we're all fat?
Oh, yeah, then the spaceship.
Yeah, well, they're all
I was
fat.
thinking of like Planet Earth
Okay,
in that
okay,
movie.
okay.
But, I mean, that could be it too. Yeah, I think if it's true, the real world became such a dim place that people had no other option but to escape their current realities for new realities, and that's when the switch takes over.
Well, and that's what we do in everyday life. When people watch a movie, they're escaping the real world and the real experience for another experience that maybe not be as hard or as harsh or it's escapism. That's what a lot of hobbies are.
Yeah, I would think the world has to be, or the world is thriving and the oceans are really blue and there's trees and plants and flowers everywhere.
It could be either way. It depends on.
Yeah.
I always talk about like whether you believe people are inherently good or inherently evil. Like people always have this debate, forever or whatever. And I always I'm an optimist, so I always have the idea that I would hope that people choose the right thing over the wrong thing.
Yeah.
If push comes to shove. Because here's the thing, is like humans have got to this point right now, and we've lived technically better than we ever have before.
Exactly.
Now, people are really depraved, and bad humans will be bad humans, and baggage will be there, and there will be evil people. Yeah, there's always going to be evil people, but you would hope that people are living better now than they ever have in human existence because of human innovation and triumph over the difficulty that is the natural state of existence, living, a human experience. So that's kind of where the positive note that I like to come at it with is, regardless of whether we're in a simulation or not, I would hope that part of God, like how God created humans, is that there's a aspect, and Jordan Peterson talks about this, there's an aspect of a human being that ultimately, that search for meaning, or that importance that we place on meaning and truth, keeps us on the right path.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
So, I mean, we'll see. But yeah, ultimately, we'll
see when we wake up.
Yeah, I think regardless of whether we're in the Matrix or in the real world right now, the idea behind truth and meaning stay exactly the same. We try to find meaning in our circumstance, right? Regardless right now. Now, if we find out that we're living in a Matrix, our search for truth changes a little bit. Because and our whole world is blown up.
Oh, for sure.
But it still stays the same, right?
It's in the end of the day, you are still seeking truth and the meaning to life.
Because your reality is what is a glimpse through your eyeballs for a certain period of time. So when you wake up, when you're born until you die, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of what circumstances that may be, whether it's a simulation or not, you are still making the best of it.
Right.
As a human being, right? Like as humans we strive, right? And I think that's the whole point of God too. Is it doesn't matter whether it's a simulation or what he has planned for us. The faith that God has us is the whole point.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my take on it.
Very cool. Very interesting.
Yeah. So the future of humanity, are we in a metaverse? Are we in the Matrix?
What are you taking? The red or the blue pill?
I'm taking the red pill. I'm taking the red pill, just like Neo did.
You better too. As always, we have bi-weekly show uploads on Wednesdays. episode 17 on August 31st. That is going to be your August monthly scoop. We are going to have so much to talk about.
Yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. I will see you in the Matrix, everyone. Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Strive Nation podcast with your hosts, Cory, Estreen, and Taylor Huff.
Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Strive Nation Pod on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Join us for our next episode in 2 weeks. And remember, when the world is upside down, Strive Nation is right side up for you guys. Have a good one.